Okay. Yeah, no, it's not a sour beer, but I'm still talking about it. I actually do make beer here that isn't sour. So this is a beer that is very kind of near and dear to Luke and I, in that it's the beer that kind of spawned this whole cocktail series of barrel-aged beers and cocktail series beers that we started here at WikiWeed. We began that. I think I brewed this. The first recipe was about 6 months into the brewery. And I actually remember we had just opened the brewery, and I went to New York to just kind of, it'd been a hell of a 8 months run up to getting the brewery open, getting the doors open, getting through our first few weeks of just getting our asses handed to us. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go up to New York, hang out for a few days. It just kind of took a long weekend. And I was sitting at the Standard Bar at the Standard Hotel and drinking an old fashioned, and it just, I don't think that this is a big epiphany beer. It's like these flavors obviously work, but it's just like, this should be a beer. Like, why can't I make this a beer? And so I came back, and Luke and I talked about it, and we brewed the first batch of Old Fashioned. So what Old Fashioned is a kind of imperial amber. We were trying to emulate the color and the feel and the backbone flavor of the crystal malts and the toffee and all that warmth you get out of bourbon. We wanted to build that back end in. And then basically take all of the flavors, the cherry and the orange zest and everything, the bitters that are in an Old Fashioned, and basically deconstruct that, build it back into the beer. So what this is an imperial kind of amber brune beer, aged in a whiskey barrel with a half a pound per gallon of cherries, and then hit with a blend of dried and fresh orange zest. And what it ends up yielding is a beer that really does taste like the cocktail. You get all the oxidative bourbon barrel-aged beer notes, but then those really nice cherry and orange undertones that really kind of sweep through the beer and kind of round it out, just like what we feel like a good old-fashioned should be. A good old-fashioned should be bourbon forward. The cherry and the orange is only backing the brightness and the beautiful depth of character that you get in a good bottle of bourbon. So, yeah, just a great sipping beer, great for sharing. I think one that people who maybe aren't even really into these styles of beers could get into. And looking at the label and what we're doing here, this is the first of many to come in this cocktail series. It's something we're really excited about sharing, and we couldn't be more happy with how the first batch to market ended up turning out. So enjoy. By the way, sorry we're a little late on this video. Luke and I were traveling last week, but I'm sure the beer is selling well. And if it's not, I don't know. I think it is. So.